I've already shared a couple of videos on how to set up SD-WAN lab, but I thought there was too much manual work and copy pasting from one device to another, and there must be an easy way to set all this up. So what I've done is I've written a shell script, and I highly recommend that you give this script a go while you're setting up your lab. I'm going to share all the files on GitHub. I'll put the link in the description. So just to quickly give you an overview of all the files, so you can ignore the templates folder for now. You can have a look at it if you want, but this is something I'm going to be using in a separate video. So there's a folder called scripts, and there's a shell script in here. You can copy the contents and create a file on the Linux box. So just a quick overview of all the other rest of the files. This is the underlay config you need for all the devices. So there's out-of-band router, WAN router, and site and internet and MPLS devices. And then there is this file which will give you all the steps of what you need to do, or you can just look at this README file. So this is what our topology looks like, and this is what we have in Eve. And just to mention, I have already shared the Eve unit lab file. So if you want it, you can download this file, import it in Eve, and you should have this lab. You will have the initial config for out-of-band, this WAN router, internet, and MPLS. You need to do the vmanage, vbond, and vsmart config. So these are the instructions here. You can follow all this config for version 19. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly set up these devices, vmanage, vbond, vsmart, and vedge. I'm just going to copy paste the config from here. So I've noticed in my previous video there was a comment that you need to watch the other video. In this video you should be able to set up the whole lab without referring back to any other videos apart from the Cisco smart account setup. So in the previous video you can just watch the smart account setup section. You don't have to watch the full video, and then you can come to this video and follow how to set up with the shell script. So I'm just going to probably speed up this video while I'm setting up vmanage, vbond, and vsmart. I'm not doing anything special. I'm just going to copy paste the config from the link I'm going to share in the description for vmanage, vbond, and vsmart, and the site vedges. Okay, once we have the devices configured, once we have the vmanage, vbond, and vedge configured, we're going to go to the Linux host, and this is the Linux host in this topology here. You could use, if you're using Eve Pro version, you could have a Docker host in there. So any host you're using, all you need to do is, if you go to text editor and copy the script, so copy this shell script from GitHub and paste it in. So if you click on raw, it's easier. If I just copy this and then go to the text editor and paste, save it on the desktop or anywhere you want, and give it a name, let's say SDWAN bootstrap.sh. Save it, close the text window, and then open terminal, and you should have the script in there. Let me just zoom in. Okay, because I already have the script on desktop, I'm going to run it from desktop, and we will see that it will create the cert files in a folder on the desktop. So all you need to do is, there are a couple of ways to run the shell script. You can either change the mode and make it executable, or run it with bash. So you can do bash and then SDWAN shell script, or you can do mode, change the mode with executable, and then when you do ls, it will show you a different color as from the previous one, and then you run it with dot / and then SDWAN script. Okay, so I'm going to change to the desktop folder where I have my script, and then I'm just going to run the script. Okay, so the script will walk you through with all the steps required. So if I hit enter, I need to provide the vmanage IP address, and then vbond, and vsmart. So the devices are reachable. If they were not reachable, the script will exit and ask you to make sure that you have the initial connectivity. So hit enter. So now we need to give it the information needed for the certs. So I'll just go ahead and put this. I'm just making sure I don't have any typos. Okay, that looks fine. So the root cert is generated, and we can see that this is our certificate at the top. Okay, and now we are going to copy this cert to the vSmart. Give it the password, and then for vbond, okay, and now we need to go to vSmart and vbond to enter this command to install the certs. go to vsmart and vbond. Okay, so before hitting the enter key, I should have done this, but yeah, you can do it in one go. Hit enter. So now it's asking me go to vmanage, administration settings, and then enter these values and import this cert. So if I go to vmanage, to settings, okay, so this is our cert here. We need to just copy this, import and save. Go back to our script and then hit enter. So now it's asking us to add the vbond and vsmart to vmanage. So we go to devices, controllers, add a controller, vbond, admin, and make sure you have the generate CSR checked. Okay, hit enter. Now we need to generate the CSR for vmanage. Sorry, go to certificates, controllers, and vmanage generate CSR. Close, and then go back to our script. Enter. Okay, so we can see we've got the 3 CSRs we need. Now we've got the 3 CRT files which we need. And we need to copy this and install on vmanage. Let me just make sure I've copied it correctly. Go back to our script. So this is the vbond. and we can see that we have our certificates installed. So next thing we need to do is configure the tunnel. So if I just copy this, so we need this on vmanage and vsmart. And on vbond. Okay, so once we have done this, hit enter. So now it's asking us to upload the serial file which you have downloaded from Smart Account. Yes. And upload manage list. Okay, we have our devices, and then we need to validate some of the devices and then send to controllers. So go to search and then scroll to the right and hit valid, and send to controllers. Go back to the devices, and from here we will take the chassis number of one of the devices and we'll take the token. Go back to our script. Okay, we need to go to the edge and install the root cert. So follow these steps. So on vEdge, we need to create this cert. So if I just copy paste this, and then hit I, copy this cert, and then we need to install it. So exit and then install. So our cert is installed. Next we need to use this command and replace the chassis number and the token. And then I just need to put token in there. Okay, so the command is request vEdge activate chassis number, which we have here, and then the token. Okay, so that's done. Hit enter for the script, and we should be all done. Go to vManage dashboard, and we should see our devices. And there are some helpful show commands if you wanted to troubleshoot or look at the control connections. Let's go to vManage and our main dashboard. Okay, so we can see we have the vSmart up, vBond, vManage up. It's already picked up the vEdge as well. It's showing down, but hopefully it will go up once it have the control connections. Okay, if I just try to ping 10.1.1.1, okay, we have the connectivity. Okay, so our WAN edge is up as well, and all the other devices are up. So I highly recommend that you use this script and follow step by step rather than reading it from a document and then copy pasting the certificates. Okay, again, I've shared all this information on GitHub. I'll put the link in the description, and hopefully it should help with setting up your lab. Just to mention, you have the Eve lab in there. You can download and import in Eve. Okay, cheers, thanks.